Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a 6-monthly, half-yearly, whatever you want to call it, review, and we're going to look at the second half of the year to sort of see what my big goals are and how sort of my planning is changing to accommodate for that. So stay tuned. So it's official, we are in June, which means we are fast approaching the half point, the midway of 2023. And a lot has happened, a lot has changed, a lot has developed to the point where I feel like I should probably do a review of the previous half of the year and then think about how I want to move forward for the second half of the year. Because I think having those big goals is important to making sure that we are aiming where we want to aim and working towards those goals. And there's a reason why I'm talking about this now. It's because the HB90 planning system that I follow and thoroughly recommend is open for enrolment. Now, Sarah Cannon, who runs this course, she will be re-recording it at some point this year, and I believe her intention is to have a brand new course uploaded for next year, which means the price will go up. But if you lock it in now, we get all of those upgrades for free because it's lifetime access. So I've talked before about the HB90 course and how amazing it is, so go and check out some of those videos. But today I'm sort of going to show you how I'm using the same sort of system to plan for the next half of the year. And something happened recently where, well, nothing even that big. I was actually watching one of her lives actually on YouTube, just about, you know, not limiting yourselves. And I feel like I have been limiting my dreams because, rightly or wrongly, I feel like I need to be realistic because my husband is the one supporting us financially at the moment. There's a lot of pressure on my husband right now to be that sole provider because everything I earn in my writing business goes back into my writing business. Now, I haven't looked at my figures yet for finances, but I do believe that I'm still not breaking even. So I'm still spending more than I bring in. That doesn't mean that I'm not proud of everything that I've done. It just means that I think I've been self-limiting my dreams. How am I ever going to get to my dream life if I don't have that as my ultimate goal? So I've talked about this before in that everyone has different levels of success. And I think what I've been doing is trying to limit what I think my success is. But actually, I think I just have different levels of success. Now, in the HB90 course, one of the things that we do is, or there's the option to do, is when you set a goal and you have like a numbers orientated goal, we tend to, well, I like following the idea of having a good goal, a better goal, and a best goal. So having like 3 sub-levels, if that makes sense. And what I think the first goal should be is something that you think is attainable with a little bit of work. Not too easy, but still roughly you think is within your grasp. I think the next level of the second, like the better goal, I think should be something that is sort of attainable, but it's sort of up there. It would take a lot of luck and a lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance to get there. But you would be so incredibly happy with that final result. And I think the third one, the better goal, I think should actually be something that is right up in the stars. You think, you know what, I'm never going to get this. But that's where I would love to be if I didn't have any caps on my goals whatsoever. If there was no ceiling, that's where I'd like to be. And really, we shouldn't be putting a ceiling on ourselves. I joked with my husband about this, and he said there's no reason why you can't have big goals. You should just be realistic. So perhaps the first goal is your realistic goal. The second goal is your, do you know what, I'd be really happy if I had that, I'm going to strive for that. And the third goal is your big goal, because if it's not on your radar at all, how are you going to get there? I did say luck, and I do think that there is an element of that, but there's also a massive element of hard work, perseverance, and just continuing on and getting the work done. So yes, luck does come into it, and I do think some people have been extremely fortunate, but that doesn't mean they haven't worked hard to get there. So I can work hard to get the first and second goal, and then that third goal, I still need to work hard, might need a little bit of luck, but I am working hard and I am pushing for that. There's no reason why I can't. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I don't reach there, because what's that saying? So shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you will land among the stars. Now, isn't that lovely? And I think that's something that I want to take to heart this next half of the year. And I think I'm going to be brave and share some of those big goals that I would like to get. I do want to preface this by saying that for me, I think success, my first level of success in my author career in general, is making back what I put in, so breaking even. That would just be phenomenal for me. The next step for that would be to make more than what I put in, so to actually make a profit. And then the next step after that is to make enough to support my family for all those extras. At the moment, I'm sure like a lot of people, we actually do live not quite paycheck to paycheck, but there's not a lot of spare money, and we have to be careful and cautious about our money. So it would mean the absolute world to me if my money was there for emergencies, for savings, for holidays, for just making life a little bit easier and not having that constant financial worry. That would be my ultimate goal. No, that would just be one of my happy goals. So already that is my third step. So 1, breaking even. 2, just making a profit. 3, making enough to support my family so that we are not as financially pressured. Now, my fourth one is actually quite a big jump. I want to earn a lot of money. Now, I don't actually have a desire to be the next biggest, hottest author. I don't have, not necessarily, that would be lovely, but what I mean by that is that I don't necessarily want to be a rich and famous author. What I would like to do is be one of these authors that brings in like several figures a month, and they just enjoy their lives. And yeah, I think that would be great. And, you know, my books, I was having a real bit of a crisis yesterday. I am going off topic, but, you know. So I had a bit of a crisis point yesterday. I was looking for a new book to read. And I had DNF'd a few books myself. And so I was looking up reviews of books to see if it would be something that I would like to read. And all these reviews that I was looking at, when I got to like the negative ones, I started feeling really like stressed and like, oh my goodness, what if these people what if they were really critical about my work in that way? And then I thought, what kind of books am I trying to write? Am I trying to write a literary masterpiece? No, would be nice, but no. I am writing what I want to read, and my readers are out there, my audience is out there, and I think I need to focus on that. My book is not going to be received by everybody. And some people may find it boring, repetitive, trope-filled, cliche, cheesy, boring, whatever. Some people are going to absolutely love it. And the biggest example of that is I read the reviews for Fourth Wing. I'm sure we've pretty much heard of that book. It's big at the moment, isn't it? And all I was hearing was really positive things and how amazing it was, and it does seem like my cup of tea. However, then I read some of the negative reviews about how it was the most generic and formulaic book, and I got really worried. and people saying, oh, how the enemies to lovers, like, I mean, it was obvious they liked each other and all this, that and the other, and how it was, you know, they wished the dragons were a bigger thing. And then I thought, actually, when I'm looking for a book, the kind of books that I like to read, we like a formulaic book. The books that I like to read follow the same sort of patterns, the same sort of tropes. And like enemies to lovers, yeah, I do love a good enemies to lovers, but obviously there's got to be something there for them to like each other, because that's the end game of the relationship. So they're not going to legitimately hate each other, are they? From page 1 to page 499 of a 500-page book. No, they're going to slowly start developing feelings. They're going to sort of like each other but pretend they don't. And that's the enemies to lovers trope that I love. Okay? So actually, people may love my books. And now I'm going to come back onto what I was talking about in reviewing the year. So let's review the year. The first quarter, pretty much completely wiped out. My parents lived with us for like 7 weeks. Felt like 7 months, not going to lie. And during that time, I became quite ill. I don't know if you know this, if you've not been around for very long, but I do suffer with a chronic illness. I don't talk about it too much, I'm working on it, but that really flared up during that time period, and I pretty much got nothing done. My Kanban board just sort of stayed static, and I pretty much wiped out Q1. Q2 was a bit better, but because of the crossover in time, I didn't sort my board out in time, so that was still up from Q1. But I did make more use of what I had done in my planner, which I will show you. So I bought the 2023 goals planner because it was a weekly checklist. Now, because of the chronic illness that I told you about, and I have a few other health issues, and having 2 young children, that can be very unpredictable, sleep especially, it meant that when I got to, there's two options with the quarterly planner. You can get a weekly spread, which is where you have like just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you can get the daily spread, so a day, like a page per day. But what I was finding was that if I wasn't tackling something that I said I was going to tackle on Wednesday, for example, I felt like I was behind. Whereas the goals planner just has like a weekly checklist, like this. Ba-doink. So weekly checklist. Now, actually, I have adapted this from the goals planner. So long story short, I didn't like all the task block check things in it. So I made up my own version, but I sort of used the HB90 version. So I used all the other pages and the planning pages and the sort of like the goal setting pages and stuff like that. Ignore the fact that most of Q1 was not filled in. And then all I did was sort of rearrange the weekly checklist so that I had more space to write, because I use an A5 planner. So I have all the tasks that I'm doing for that week. I've got a notes section at the bottom. I've got a deadlines box. And then what I had been doing, which I have been finding quite helpful, is, so I have done like an estimated task block and then how long it actually took me. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. But what I have been doing to, like, sometimes things can take a lot longer to do, like write 5,000 words on a novella. Probably not going to get that done in one day. So what I did is I did a tick next to it for every sort of task block that I did. I really am liking the weekly project task list, because it means that if I can't work on a day, like yesterday, for example, I was meant to film this yesterday, but I woke up with a massive headache and I spent the morning pretty much in bed. And then in the afternoon, I then did some client work because I needed to prioritize that. So I didn't actually get any stuff done, but no problems, because I have a weekly checklist, which means I can then check things off on another day. And that has just been really good for my mental health, to feel like I'm not behind. Yeah, so this is a good example of where some things didn't get done over here. Just moved them over to here. But it was really good seeing all these other ticks here of all the task blocks that I had done. So even if I didn't finish a task completely. I was like, oh, but I have actually done 3 task blocks on that one task. So, you know, that was quite good. So then, so just like a little bit about how I've been finding the planning, and mostly for Q2. And then I thought, okay, what have I actually achieved in 2023 so far? So then I made a little list. I finished the sort of the big edits that I was doing on the Reign of Blood and Shadows story that I'm doing. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I did finally come up with a title, and I'm in the process of commissioning the cover, and the sort of NA fantasy romance that I've been working on is titled Reign of Blood and Shadows. So I finished that and sort of sent and received feedback, and I've been actioning that feedback. So I did all that in Q2 really. I also finished the spin-off novella for the Soulbound series that I've been working on. Wasn't meant to be doing that, but I could not get the story out of my head, so I thought, well, may as well write it. I also started back on YouTube. And I did have a look at some figures. So apparently I've got 45 new subscribers, which I'm quite happy with, because I've been doing like one video every other week, which is, I think, quite good. So my watch hours, I've got 34% more than the previous 6 months. I think this is a good point to make. I learned about freebie seekers and stopped doing like newsletter promos because of that, just to draw in new readers, just to draw in new subscribers, so that I could focus more on organic subscribers. And I don't mind doing a video about this at another point, but basically when I look at my stats for like my open rates and things like that on my newsletter, it's really quite low. But when I split it into those that came onto my newsletter by just, so if they wanted the freebie, they had to give me then their email address so that they had to sign up for my newsletter. And basically that group of people, so low. Open rate so low, and my unsubscribe rate as well. I have yet to have an organic subscriber unsubscribe. So when I mean organic, just people that have met me, liked me, signed up for my newsletter, and then downloaded the freebie. If they did. Oh, my eye is twitching. I don't know if you can see. Anyway. I also retook the Publish and Thrive course, also by Sarah Cannon, which is helping me get ready for publishing this new fantasy. I took a blurb course, just recently done that. I will be doing a new video on it because it's been really good. And then I started offering paid beta reading services. I can never say that word. Which is exciting. I have read 40 books and counting, so I set a target of 52 books for the year. I think I'll reach that. And then, oh yeah, I've put my parents live with us for nearly 2 months, and that my health tanked. Already spoke about that. And then also put that I focused on my health needs and spreading my work out. And then I have started and continued an immense amount of physio. And so I got a new office chair, which is brilliant because my back is shot to pieces, and this chair is amazing. It's fully customizable. It was expensive for me, but I don't think it's expensive overall in terms of like office chairs. I think this one costed me, it was like £200, something like that. And it's all singing, all dancing. And it's a pretty colour. Wait, a pretty colour. And that is something that I think is accomplished because I bought that with my money. I didn't use my husband's money for that. Ta-da! So there's some of the things that I've accomplished so far. And now let's get into the juicy bit. What do I want to accomplish in the next half of 2023? So earlier, unless I've cut it all out and I haven't put it in the video, I spoke about goals and how I am trying to reach for the really big goals, because will it be embarrassing if I don't hit those really big goals? Potentially, because I care about what people think of me. I really don't do well when people don't like me and don't think of me in a good way. I don't know what it is. It just really not great for my mental health. She says, as an author, and on YouTube, and puts herself out there. But anyway, but I've decided to take on the premise that if I do not shoot for these goals, I will never reach them anyway. Because there's only so much luck that a person can get. There's just simply no way I could get these goals if I didn't put in hard work. So, big goals, titled it Big Goals. I am sort of following that HB90 principle of having that good, better, best level of goals. And I have tried to, I haven't got like a goal wording per se, but I have split it into 3 sections. So my first big goal is surrounding like sales and things like that. I am working on all the projects and tasks to try and reach those sales, but at the end of the day, it depends on how many people buy the book. So I've got sales for the Reign of Blood and Shadows because I intend to publish that in the second half of this year. Do I want to share numbers? Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to share numbers. So I think it is attainable to reach 25 sales. That's a low number, I think, for a lot of people. But for me, that's just what I think is attainable if I work really hard on like marketing and promoting and stuff like that. Bearing in mind that I don't have a massive social media reach, and what do they say, like 1% or something like that of your like following potentially will buy your products, sort of thing. So, and if I'm being honest, I think a handful of them will be from friends and family. But my next goal is 100, because I definitely do not have 100 friends and family to buy this book, which means that some of those will be genuine readers. And I think that with a lot of hard work, that could be attainable. A high attaining goal for me, judging how my other sales have gone, but not impossible. And then my pie in the sky goal is 1,000. So it'll be interesting. At the end of 2023, I will do a video sort of reacting to this video, and we will see how many sales I got. I've also got sales of my Soulbound series. So at the moment that is in KU, and I am umming and ahhing about taking it out, but that is a whole nother topic of discussion. But I've got a few ideas of how, like, I've got a few things I want to do with that series. So I've put down 10 sales. Especially if I go wide, that will be quite a big number. My next number is 50 sales, which I don't think is possible if I'm being honest, because I want to be focusing on my other fantasy, but it's possible. And then my pie in the sky is 100. Again, very low for some people, I'd imagine, but for me, I feel like that would be high. And you know what? If I got 100 sales, I think I'd be pretty damn happy. So then my second big goal is focusing on like my social media and my sort of community and discussing with other people. So I've got the main 4 platforms. So Instagram, TikTok, and then YouTube, and also newsletter subscribers. So for numbers, at the moment, when I record this video, and please, I hope that nobody has unsubscribed in this time, I am standing at 1,049 followers on YouTube, which I think I hit 1,000 followers at the end of last year, so only 49. I have been up and down like a yo-yo on Instagram. It's very weird. So I would like to reach 1,200, which is a massive leap, but I want it to be somewhat of a challenge. My next level is 1,500, and my top, like, pie in the sky, I'd love to get 2,000 followers, which I don't think is possible because that would be like 950 followers between now and the end of December. Anyway, TikTok, I'm only at 53 followers. I'm really not consistent on that. I'm still learning about the platform and everything else, but I've put my first goal as 100. My second goal is 500, which is a massive jump, but And then my third goal, my pie in the sky goal, is 1,000. YouTube, I am standing at 563 subscribers right now. So I've put, by the end of this year, it'd be really nice if I was on 600. But my middle goal is 750, and that really big goal of 1,000, it would be a really lovely benchmark that I've put in there. Newsletter subscribers, I am at 256. Now this is difficult because I am suspecting that it will continue going down as the people who are just the freebie seekers eventually unsubscribe. So I've just said 275 because even though that's only a difference of, let me work this maths out, 20, no, 19, around 20 subscribers. I'm expecting to lose some from that number, so it will be more than 20 subscribers. If that makes sense, probably not. My middle goal of 300 subscribers and my pie in the sky goal of 500 newsletter subscribers. Now that's really quite ambitious because newsletter subscribers, organic subscribers, are your sort of hot leads. I know a lot of like accounts that I follow talk about cold leads and hot leads, and if you're signed up for somebody's newsletter, you are more likely to purchase things from them than if you're not. That doesn't mean that you will, it's just that you want to follow them, you want to see what books they come out. In fact, I had a newsletter, I am part of several newsletters for other authors. I had one drop in my inbox the other day and I immediately went and downloaded that book. So that's sort of like the social media side of big goals. So then my final number 3 big goal is sort of just in general. So I would like to draft, if possible, book 2 and book 3 of the fantasy series that I'm working on right now. I'd also love to edit and prepare that novella that I was talking about for release in Q1 of next year. So that will need doing this half of the year. But obviously that main focus is my NA fantasy, so that will take a longer time to do. And then I am going to be cryptic, I'm very, very sorry, but I would like to book this special big trip in 2024. But anyway, I am being cryptic, I'm not going to talk more about that. It's a big, big trip, it's to do with being an author, it's to do with writing, but I will share about it when and if it happens. So those are my big goals. They are just for the end of this year. Now for me they are big goals, but I think they are somewhat attainable because I really want to focus on publishing this book, writing the next couple of books, and really sort of getting to grips with sales, drumming up sales, marketing, promotion, all of that jazz. I've been doing a lot of learning this year, even when I wasn't properly working. That is sort of the video I wanted to do today. As I say, the HB90 course is now open for enrolment. I'll leave my affiliate link down below. I have cleared off my Kanban board and I am ready. I would show me planning for Q3, but I want to take it with the course at the same time. So I will do a video, but it'll be later and the course will be closed by then. So if you want to join up, click on that link. I'd love it if you could use my affiliate link. Go check out my other videos on HB90 if you want to. Ask me any questions down below. I'm always more than happy to help, or send a DM, whatever. And then stick around for my Q3 planning later on this month. It'll probably come out in July, to be honest with you, when I actually get to filming it. And yeah, I will speak to you next time. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully during editing I can make it seem somewhat logical and in a logical thought process, but who knows, because sometimes I just spew a load of stuff at the camera. So then, alright guys, good luck for the rest of 2023. Stick around to see if I actually hit those goals. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!